Hello everybody and welcome to another Brother Crypt video. Today I'm going to be addressing the question, Pchain is greedy and is likely to be a scam. Before I get into this, I just wanted to say apologies for not creating any content recently. I was previously at the London Blockchain Summit, which was held on the Tuesday and Wednesday this week. Currently, as I'm making this video, it is the 28th of June. That's a Thursday, and the time is 4:27 London time. Quickly, let's just look at the market before I sink into this video. We can see that we have 1,596 cryptocurrencies listed. We have a market cap of 245 billion. BTC dominance has increased to 42.2%, and Bitcoin price has reduced by about 1% in the last 24 hours, and the price is at $6,000 and $6,071.97. All right. So without further ado, let's get into it. Having a look at Pchain, we can see that the current price now is about 8 cents. The ICO price was about 5 to just under 6 cents, about 5+ cents, and since it's been released onto an exchange, it's had an all-time price of around about 24 to 25 cents. Okay, so there's lots of fluctuation with this coin. Now, just so you know, Pchain was in the ICO stage on the 28th of May. 2018, so that's almost a month ago. In fact, it's a month today. You know, they set a goal to raise 50,000 ETH, which is somewhere approximately between 22 to maybe even 35 to maybe even $40 million. So it's quite a large range. Basically, what Pchain are is that they're a multi-chain for large-scale applications. They have an oracle, and it compares to Zilliqa and also Dfinity and also Elf. Pchain is a smart contract platform, much like Ethereum and NEO, and is meant to be comprised of one main chain and multiple side chains. Pchain, you know, what they aim to do is to offer customers the possibility to build high transaction throughput decentralized applications on their platform. They have a proof of stake algorithm. They have a proof of stake consensus algorithm. Basically, Pchain, you know, they want to be a scalable blockchain. At the time of doing my research and due diligence on the project, which was way before the ICO, they didn't have a prototype back in April this year. Later, in the middle of May, a prototype was delivered, and according to my notes, on the 14th of April, the main CEO, I believe his name is pronounced Dr. Cao Feng, showed the community a live prototype of Pchain. Now, let me get into some of this. One of my grievances is with you know, the prototype, although it was something that I overlooked before I made the investment. However, nobody actually used the prototype. It was just a prototype that was shown to the community via a video that was controlled by, you know, Cao Feng. However, nobody's used it, and it hasn't necessarily been verified by any third parties as well. Even without a valid or scrutinized MVP, many large funds, institutions, as we can see pictured here, believed in the project, and then they still invested in it, and they backed it. So from my perspective, it looked appealing. Another reason why Pchain managed to gain media hype was because the team, were established people in the blockchain space. So let me just go over the white paper quickly, and then we can see some of the, positions within the team. So Cao Feng, who's the CEO, was the inventor of the first blockchain patent from China. He was a co-founder of China Ledger, the most influential blockchain alliance of China. He's an ex-chief scientist of internet finance and co-chaired of the Patent Review Board in IBM Research in China. IBM Global Technical Achievement Award 3 times. Yeah, he won that award issued by IBM 3 times. Now, his partner, a chap called Stephen Ling, who's also pronounced Haojin Liv, he's basically their architect. For this position, I'll just call him a CTO. He is a blockchain technology pioneer of China and responsible for a few blockchain projects as team leader. He's also got a background working for SAP in Shanghai labs as well. Now, looking at some of their backers, this is, visible on the Pchain website. If we look at some of the backers, we can see that, Link VC is one of their backers, and Link VC is also quite popular because they invested into other do well projects such as Zilliqa, such as Elf, who have good similarities to Pchain, but they've also invested in others like Corkchain and also Phantom as well. Now, the next company is also Polybus Capital as well. Polybus Capital have a good track record for some of their investments too. They've also invested in things like OneChain, also Sealy, and Origin Protocol and Salt Lending as well. So we can see that, they have a good sort of position of backers as well. However, one of the things that I didn't like in the process of compiling this video was mainly the way that I was treated. And then having done my research further, there were some other things that I found striking which were compelling enough for me to create this video as well. But we'll get into them. Now, if we look at their white paper, they have a section for milestones on the roadmap, and it's not very clear. The milestones Pchain's team is aiming to achieve are clear. However, the roadmap is vague at times. E.g., published a product on a major network, complete document of external API and wiki. What product exactly and which document? Additionally, it is unclear as of why the technical white paper is scheduled to be released only 7 months after ICO commences. What is with that? And I'm starting to find their behavior a bit scammy. According to Pchain's roadmap, the only major releases they are having within the next month is the white paper. The white paper is released, and according to their Telegram channel, they have an initial network deployed. This is private, therefore it can be considered that Pchain team is slightly ahead of their roadmap, considering their alpha is scheduled to be deployed in around 6 months. I just find that to be inconsistency. And looking at their roadmap, you've got T plus 7 months, T plus 12 months, T plus 8 months. So what you're saying, time now plus 8 months. Why don't you just shorten it down? Why don't you just, give us clear dates, clear deliverables and clear sections when these things are going to be deployed? Let me just, share some of my bad thoughts before I share my experiences with you. The thing that I find is just that in this current ICO landscape, anyone can say that they want to merge things or be the fastest. Unless you have a working, verifiable prototype, you can test, or anyone can test, but given a credible test, it's all just talk at the end of the day. If we look at their competitors, they all essentially want to do the same thing, which is scalability. The project is just basically a white paper idea that has no working product from what I can see. So Pchain does not have, or didn't have, a prototype at the time of ICO, or even MVP, and it's not really clear how much progress they've made on their MVP as of now. And at the time, they had the cheek to ask for somewhere between 22 to 40 million. I also have an issue with their roadmap. It's just 18 months timeline. Usually a timeline should be a good 2 years or so. The final thing that really bothered me is the Pchain testnet. It's not going to be online or available for another 6 months from me creating this video, according to their roadmap. Recently, they have been many projects coming out of China that are similar to Pchain. Most of them did fairly well when they hit the markets. The question is this just a money grab or a scam? The way that I've been feeling now is that you haven't even got an MVP, and then you're giving customers like me bad customer service. The fact that they don't have an MVP and the fact that they're not very transparent is not really leaving a good impression with me. And I just really wanted to share this with the community. The way the ICO was conducted, it felt like a money grab or a scam, in my opinion. And also, lastly, what I didn't like is when I checked their GitHub, Pchain, they do have a publicly accessible GitHub page, but as of March 2018, this year, there's been no activity whatsoever. So this starts to concern me. You did your fundraising in May. You've got about 30 million, and yet it doesn't look like you're developing anything whatsoever at all. This is really bad. Now, moving on, one of the things that I experienced during the ICO was that the instructions were not very clear. I kept logging on to my account. I KYC'd. I sent everything. I logged onto the account, and my address kept on changing. The address that I was meant to send Ethereum to, it kept on changing. And then as a result, the address that I was meant to send my Ethereum to kept on changing. So what I did was I sent the wrong amount of ETH to two different addresses. So here's a copy of the email with some, private information, just restricted. Here's a copy of it. Hello, I recently contributed to the Pchain main crowd sale today. The address of the smart contract was not clear, so I sent Ether on 2 occasions to the addresses in the smart contract. Please send the Ether back. The first address it was incorrectly sent to was, and for this a refund is required. The second address was incorrectly sent to was, and unsuccessful Ether required. Please note the Ether was sent here because I clicked the link to see how many Pchain tokens remained for the crowd sale. I saw these addresses here. Sorry for the inconvenience caused. Please let me know if you need any information. Thank you. 28th, I sent that email, didn't hear anything back, sent another email on the 29th, and luckily I got this reply. Well received. We'll check the transaction and refund back to the original address. It will take around 2 to 4 weeks. You'll need to cover the transaction fee for the refund. Thanks. Okay, so this was received on the 30th of April. Today is the 28th of June. And it has been literally 4 weeks to the day this happened. And since receiving this one-line reply, I've chased up and I posed this question to them. I appreciate that after an ICO you have many urgent pressing matters, but I would like to say 2 to 4 weeks is rather a long time. Please try to refund the 2 incorrect transactions before then. Many people like myself use cryptocurrencies and blockchain technology to improve on the existing financial mechanism, to streamline the sending of information and value. I think anyone or enterprise entities in this space can do better than 2 to 4 weeks to refund an incorrect transaction. Thank you. All of the best. Now, you'll notice that my tone, when I'm always dealing with third parties or friends or associates, it's always professional. That's the background that I come from. Prior to me doing this, being in blockchain, I used to be a software test analyst, and I used to work for a lot of financial institutions. So I'm no stranger to fintech. I'm no stranger to blockchain. I'm no stranger to IT. And, given Bitcoin transactions, if someone said that they were going to take 2 weeks to 4 weeks to refund the Bitcoin transaction or to send it back to the user, I'll think, what the hell are you doing? We're meant to be in a digital space, and digital is quick, meaning that if I need to send you money, it can be always sent within a day or in a few hours. So yes, I appreciate that you have many things to do, but 2 to 4 weeks is ludicrous. It makes me think that you do not value my time as an investor, as a consumer, even though it's only a small fractional amount. I don't like the division. I don't like people thinking that you're only important because you're going to be spending big money with them. Because now what we're doing is we are recreating the existing financial paradigm we see ourselves in, where the people that are closest to the banks, the people that have money, they have easy access to money. Therefore, they can take out debt. Therefore, they are able to buy assets with cheap money. And that's why we have, high house prices, high prices for assets. I want to scrap all that. I'm in blockchain, I'm in cryptocurrency because I want my own financial sovereignty. And most of the time I do have. It's just that if your ICO was not confusing, or if you didn't send me false addresses, then I would have just followed the instruction. Anyway, cut a long story short, after this, I contacted the Telegram group. And then I was also continuing my tone of professionalism, using my pleases, using my thank yous. Could you please look into this? And then I was just met with hostility. Look at this joker, Bevin. Haha, okay, buddy. I'll talk to my boss now. Ask him to make sure yours is last. Just because I asked a question, why does it take 2 to 4 weeks for you to process a refund? How would you like it if you told all of your ICO participants to send their allocations within a time frame of 2 to 4 weeks? That would have been hectic. You wouldn't have been able to do anything constructive with that. Therefore, you telling me to wait 2 to 4 weeks, I've actually waited 2 to 4 weeks, but I've given you reminders within that space. And then you're telling me to be patient. I already have been patient, but I don't like people that speak to me in a condescending manner when I'm giving you money. That is uncalled for. And this is why I'm starting to think Pchain are just a bunch of jokers. Yeah? Your white paper is weak. You have sketchy dates on it. You, looking at your GitHub, there's been no additional repositories. Speaking to people who are admins, who are meant to be company representatives, you're speaking to me as if you're complete amateurs, as if you haven't even left school yet. Be careful who you talk to and how you talk to those people. Yeah? Just because this is the internet and there's no personal touches does not mean that you need to be condescending or rude. You do not know who you will see tomorrow or who you will bump into. I'm out here. Like I said, I just came back from the London Summit blockchain event, and I frequently network and travel and go to exhibitions frequently. You might bump into me in China, And the same energy you put out now is the same energy that you'll get back. And I'm talking to you, Bevan, and you also, Kiki, for sending your rude messages when I have been nothing but calm and professional and hospitable. Anyway, so this is really what I wanted to share with you, family. I believe I've finished my video. So you can see that from my perspective, Pchain is looking like a scam because their customer service sucks. They haven't given me my refund. I've been patient. They haven't updated their GitHub. They haven't made any new additions. They've just taken the money and run. And then I see Dr. Feng on Twitter, and then he's there talking about he's creating new chapters in a new blockchain book. So his priorities are not just solely on Pchain. He's doing other things. He wants to have the limelight. So in my opinion, Pchain and their whole outfit are looking like amateurs. Anyway, thanks for watching this Brother Crypt video. Please do like it. Please do share it. If you have any comments, if you completely disagree with me, that's your perspective. Please let me know exactly where I've got wrong and I'll consider it. But, you know, I'm talking from a place of experience, and I've also been patient. And this is not the first main sale or crowd sale that I got into. And what you're telling me, Pchain, is just that you really don't care about the small fries. Because if we look, you only gave away $2 million worth of token in your crowd sale. And it was just so hectic. It was disorganized. You guys were even late. And then most of the allocation was all private sales and pre-sales. And I heard somewhere that you gave away like a 40% bonus. So, yeah, I'm not really too pleased with Pchain. I still hold my tokens for now. I really thought it was one that I would be buying more when I had the opportunities, like instances like now. But based on my experience, based on their progress since ICO, no, Pchain can get lost. They have lost my trust. Anyway, thanks for watching this Brother Crypt video. Please like, please share, please comment if you want to get back any information to me. Take care, all the best, peace.